Thank you for joining us for another episode of Real Talk. Today we have our good friend Lieutenant Governor Mandela for our Monday check-in. We want to thank our sponsors at Park Bank. Thanks for everything that you're doing. And if anyone, you want more of our content, please go to our YouTube page to get more of our content, more of our real tech content, all the good stuff. But let's get to our good friend here. Lieutenant Governor, how are you, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. I mean, you looking like Rick Ross there with that beard, bro. I like the beard, man. It looks good.
Yeah, I decided I was just gonna keep it going ever since we announced the safer at home. So decided to grow it out, and hopefully I don't look like Moses at the end of this thing.
How far? I mean, how far are we going? Like with the beard?
I guess, I want to say until it's over, but we'll see.
Yeah, my wife hates my beard. Whenever I grow it out, she hates. I mean, my kids love it. My wife hates it, so I'm always torn.
That's weird because, like, you see, these days, more women seem to find beards attractive. But
well,
what do I know?
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say. So I don't just say my wife. She's rough on me, bro. So she's, anyways, my kids love it though, so that's what gets me through it.
Yeah.
So how are you going? Like, the last time we talked last week, and a lot's happened again since last week. And I know that there were some more protests over the weekend. What are you guys hearing about the protests from internally? Do you guys have a plan to deal with them, or are you just going to kind of let them play out how they're going now?
Yeah, I think even after that first big protest, I mean, this one, the most recent one, didn't have anything to on that one. And I would say a lot of folks, kind of see how it doesn't make the most sense to get out there and protest right now. And to protest something like this, like to protest our efforts to save people's lives, right? And you see that stuff kind of fizzle out. And the first one, like I mentioned before, that wasn't even a protest about safer at home. That was a Trump rally. That was a Trump rally that was supported by militia groups in this state. That had very little to do with actually making sure that lives are being protected. And, one of the most unfortunate things, I posted this on Twitter, or I reshared something on Twitter, where somebody took a picture of one of the protesters who was outside the governor's mansion, and it said, "Open my business." And then the store, and they had a sign that says, "My business matters." And the most important thing about this whole scene is the word my. And that's what I've been saying all along, is a lot of too many people are, being selfish, where it's just my business, not your life, not my neighbor's life, but my business. And how are you going to help me, instead of thinking about the larger group? And, if a person isn't concerned with those around them, but only concerned about themselves, and they are going to be worse off as a result themselves, because everyone around you, their health matters, their economic security matters. I realize you think people, would understand that you are only as strong as the people who are around you.
Yeah. You mentioned business, which, the more you read, that you really hear that this has really impacted minority businesses in a big way, right? Mm-hmm. And is there anything from a state perspective that the state can do to help spur minority businesses, African American businesses, Latino businesses, or anything that the state can do to help help to some of these businesses?
Yep. Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation just announced their plan to help support our struggling minority and women-owned businesses across the state. So go to the website, check that out for all small business owners, minority, women-owned. Check out the WEDC website for the announcement of funding and support that will be made available.
Oh, that's great. Is that already been announced? Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's great. So, were you part of that at all?
I mean, offer suggestions. I can't say I mastermind the whole thing, right? I wish I could have. right?
No,
Like, but it's like always just it's the ideas, right? Like that the things that we always talk about. It's not like it wasn't necessarily a new thing or a novel type of program, right? Like it's the things that we talk about we should be doing anyway, pandemic or not. So.
Okay, I'm asking just because you are
I know.
You are the lieutenant governor, and you happen to be black, and you know the state and economic development stuff you've been talking about. So I would hope that they at least have some conversation with you. That's my hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I didn't take it any negative way.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I got love for you, man. So I'm not trying.
Hey, I appreciate it, man.
So tell me about the governor. You guys now having testing. Is it just up north you're having these mobile testings, or is it?
Well, so the drive-through testing we already had it available in Milwaukee, but now that has expanded, and there will be testing. Some of the counties include Buffalo County, Pepin County, the St. Croix Tribe, Burnett and Polk counties. And then going to Douglas County, Washburn County, the Bad River Tribe, the Ashland, Eau Claire County, Dunn County, and more. And the testing is available for people with any of the symptoms. You have to be symptomatic to some degree now, it doesn't have to be every symptom, but whether you have fever, whether you have cough, loss of taste or smell, shortness of breath, sore throat, fatigue, body aches, diarrhea, vomiting. What we think of as flu symptoms, if you have those, you are eligible for free testing. And there is not a doctor referral that will be needed. And we are working to set up even more across the state. And for the people tuning in from Western Wisconsin, you can find out more at the Western Wisconsin Public Health Readiness Consortium, which is WWP as in Paul, HRC.org. Again, that's www.phrc.org, and that stands for the Western Wisconsin Public Health Readiness Consortium.
Are you? Because it sounds like we have more testing done, right? So with more testing, like a friend of mine said that the testing is driving up the numbers, and I said, well, not really. It's really just giving more accurate of what's actually going on, right? So it's not, to me, I get what people say it's driving up the numbers, but it's giving a real accurate what's going on for the virus. Are you concerned, though, that people are going to say that our numbers are drastically increasing and people are going more panic mode, or how do you think this testing thing is going to play out?
No. I mean, I think that the testing it pulls the cover off of what people would try, what some people would try to ignore. Like as more testing becomes available, you can't dispute the fact that more people are becoming infected with COVID-19, and for the many people who want to rush to get back to business as usual, I hope that the numbers can provide some sort of caution to those folks.
What happens if, because the governor's extended to May 26th, right? Mm-hmm. What happens if, this could happen, that there could be the testing go, there could be sadly more deaths and more cases. Are you prepared, do you think, to extend it past May 26th? Even with all the protests, I mean, that potentially could happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, that could absolutely happen. I mean, we're at 8,000 cases right now, over 8,000 positive cases as of this moment. And the biggest spike has been in the Latino community. Before last week, they were around 19% of infections in the state. Now they're up to about 27%. That's a huge jump. And that's largely due to the testing that happened in Brown County. Now, the testing has to happen, too, because it's important for us, and not even as us as a state, it's important just in general to know who's been exposed to these people. So after the testing is complete, if you get a positive result, then you do the contact tracing to figure out who may be at risk.
Yeah. And, I'm hoping that people take this seriously. I mean, you can feel the weather changing, and you can just tell that people are getting antsy. You can just... Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people are getting antsy, very anxious, want to get out, want to just do things the way they're used to doing them. But that's not the reality right now.
So are we going to be doing any of these mobile type of testing in Dane County?
I think it depends on the need, right? Like, as oddly enough, I mean, you don't see Dane County with the exorbitant rate as
Yeah,
you know,
we're
some
low.
other places,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Relatively low, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if there's a need, then of course we're going to deploy resources where needed. If an outbreak took place here, then yeah, in Dane County, then we're going to go all in and make sure that that testing is available.
Yeah. So tell me about this. The GOP, they're in the Supreme Court on Tuesday. That lawsuit is it Tuesday?
Yeah. Yep.
So tell us about the lawsuit. What's the lawsuit? What are they talking about?
So, yeah, man. I mean, it's ridiculous anyway that they even decided to hear this. This is a public safety issue, and the Republican leaders in the legislature decided that they want to take on and challenge the governor's safer at home order because, I don't know whether it's the interest that they feel beholden to, but everything is coming before the health and safety of people in the state when they decided to challenge the safer home order. And that's all they tried to do is just generate and build more power. They've taken the governor to court many times, right? And they want to try to stop the governor any chance they get. And I mean, I feel like, a lot of these folks should have run for governor if they want to be governor. But they're in the legislature. We have distinct branches of government for a reason. And for them to totally, ignore that and think that, and feel like it's their way or the highway, despite not serving in executive office, shows the one thing that they're concerned with, and that's just being in power. And with them being in power, or with that sense of power, comes with us experiencing, a total compromising of the safety of the residents here for us as individuals. It just ignores the fact that people, like I've said all the time, it ignores the fact that people are getting infected. It ignores the fact that people are dying, and this is an emergency like we haven't seen before.
Yeah. Are you guys prepared? Because as a parent right now, I'm already thinking about school in the fall, and do you guys have a strategy of when you make a decision, about schools and how that impacts schools? And
that's a constant conversation, right? Like, there's no way we're ready to make that call today.
Yeah, of course. But, yeah.
But definitely, thinking about what that looks like, and we've always talked about the size of classrooms being out of control. And now, hopefully, people listen to that conversation. Yeah, right. We talked about just how difficult it is to teach in a crowded classroom. But now, it could be an actual public health issue by having these overcrowded classrooms. It was always a public health crisis. It was always a public health issue. But now, I think that there's an opportunity to really explore what classroom sizes should look like.
Are you what are you up to these days? I mean, so you're Netflix and watching different shows. Now growing the beard. What are you doing now to
So I'm still watching shows, catching up on Schitt's Creek. If you ever seen that before.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I've seen a couple shows. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm cruising through that. I've been cooking a lot. I cut my finger the other day.
Oh.
It was a bad cut too. It was really bad. Like, it was a nice little chunk of my fingertip just missing.
Trying to cook, or were you trying?
Not trying. I cook really well actually, but I was cutting
your finger would argue differently. That I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. I was slicing carrots and I was going a little too fast.
Oh man!
I know, man. It's so bad. It's been banished for almost a week. So yeah, dealing with that. I made some scones today. Scones,
like the scones.
Yeah, like the breakfast pastry. And then I made some yogurt last night in my Instant Pot. I've been, I've just been experimental. Been making a lot of stuff, man.
Are you reading anything? What are you reading?
Yeah, I am. So it's a couple of things. This is a book. It's called "It's What I Do" by Lindsay Adaro. She's a war photographer, and so it's an okay book. I'm not in love with it, but I'm gonna power through it. But it's got like a lot of eat, pray, love feel to it. Except she's a war photographer, so it has like a lot of pictures from war zones, and yes, that's actually really interesting. I bought it by mistake last year, but I paid a lot of money for it, so now I have to finish it. And then there's a book that I'm getting ready to finish next called Children of Virtue and Vengeance, which is the sequel to Children of Blood and Bone. It is a fiction novel. It takes place in Nigeria, and it's about reclaiming the power of magic. It's a pretty deep book, actually. It's really deep.
You kind of a deep guy, aren't you?
I'm pretty deep. Yeah, you got some depth.
You're a cerebral dude. Like, you're one of those cerebral brothers. I appreciate that about you, man. I do. I appreciate that about you. So, is there anything else that you plan on doing new? Because I'm asking for people who are at home right now who are just figuring out they are struggling. Like, what are you doing new that you could tell someone that they should try right now?
I poorly painted my walls. Poorly. It's like the other color paint is like all over places it shouldn't be.
Okay. Well, people don't try to paint at home. If you don't do that.
Why not? Try it out. Try it out. If you mess up, you got time to fix it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's true. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, people. Mess up your homes. Paint, mess them up. You can fix it. Well, but thanks for your time, Lieutenant Governor. And, next week, hopefully next week we talk, try to give us people like at least good 5 different books that you would recommend for people to read. Good 5 books.
I will.
People like you who are really those, those cerebral brothers. Like.
Got you. I got you, man.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So thank you for your time again. We'll see you next week. And thank you, everyone, for Real Talk. We'll see you next time.